Welcome back to the DSA Day 13. Today we're gonna solve question number 1389. Basically, it's create target array in the given order. Okay, and yesterday we solved question number 1365. It's basically we have to count the like how many numbers are smaller than the current index. Okay, and if you have not watched the yesterday's video, link in I button, you can check out now. And okay, we're doing this starting from basics to move like under better understanding of advanced questions. Like if you start directly from advanced questions, you can't understand what's happening. But if you started from the basic beginner, so you know how to we can start building logic and thinking critical questions where we think we have to. That's why starting from beginner. Okay, and if you have not started yet DSA with the series, yeah, you have to start now to master DSM. So, firstly, I'll explain question, what is in question, and then we move to the one example of given, what like whatever we have to do in this question. Then we write one code of this question. After that, we discuss about codes, time and space complexities. Okay, and then because time and space complexity are important things, so we'll discuss this part in each and every question. After that, we try to optimize if there are any optimization needed in this question. Okay, and after that we can move to the tomorrow's questions, like little bit with question like basic overview of tomorrow's question. Okay, so let's start with question explanation. So basically, question is create target array in the given order. Okay, the order is given in question. We have to create accordingly. Then we'll go through line by line. Given two arrays of integers, they given us two arrays of integers, nums and indexes. Like the given arrays are nums and index. You are tasked to create target array under the following rules. Okay, rules are given. You have to create a new array of target under the following rule. Initially, target array is empty. Okay, starting from empty, we don't have to take any value inside target array. You have to take it empty from left to right. Read nums of I and index of I. We have to move to the left to right means 0 to the nth index of the arrays. Okay, insert at index of I the value of nums of I in target. Okay, like it's little bit complex. You won't get it. What question is trying to saying is like basically question is trying to saying is nums of I value we have to add in our new array at index of I. Okay, like target we have one new array called target. Okay, and like targets well what first for nums of I. Okay, nums of I comes. Okay, and index of I is the value of like index of I is value of index, which index of target we have to add nums of I. Like firstly you can see if index of I is 0, like index of I is 0 and nums of I is 1, so we have to add 1 at 0th index. Okay, now you have like 4 5 length array. Okay, and index of I is become 2 and nums of I value is 3, so we have to add 3 at second index, and rest of the what rest of the elements you have to push back. Okay, like now you can get what is question try to say. Repeat the previous step until there are no element to read in nums and index. Okay, we have to add each and every index of nums and indexes to our new array in return target array, and it guaranteed that the insertion operation will be valid. Okay, we have to confirm that the our insertion is valid and it's perfect, like as question given. Each and every nums of I should be like starting from left side. Okay, first index of index has multiple uh, possibilities because they have same, like at this second index 2, fourth index is also 2. So in both cases, you have to move to the valid way. First come like 0 index, 1 index, second index 2 value you can push. Again when 2 comes, you have to push to the 2, and those 2 index value become backward side. Okay, I hope you got clear. uh, we'll see example one so you can more clear about what is question trying to say. Okay, So here you can see nums array and index array. Okay, so in nums array, zero value move to the like a zero index. Okay, so target array becomes like that zero. For one value you have to enter it on one index. Okay, so it's become like 0 1. For 2 we have to again move to the 2 index. There 0 1 2 there is no problem, everything is clear. For third, like value 3, we have to insert it again second index. Now this two value move to the last, and this like it we have to insert two and remain each and every value should be pushed back. Okay, like 0 1 3 2 becomes our new target array, and those two come to the end of the array. For 4 we have to add it on first index, so we added first index. This 1 3 2 becomes like push back, so it's like what shifts to the after the 4, so our target array becomes 0 4 1 3 2. Okay, so I hope you got clear what actually question is trying to say, and I think we have to see example too for your better understanding. So here are nums array 1 2 3 4 and 0, and index is at 0 1 2 3 0. So we have to add 1 at 0 index. Okay, 1 2 and 3, so it basically become 1 2 3 4. Okay, because third index like up to third index each and every is in single line, so it's become 1 2 3 4. And again 0 we have to add at 0 index, so this all shifts to the last, and 0 becomes first, so it becomes 0 1 2 3 4. And you can check output here 0 1 2 3 4. So now I hope you can clear what this question trying to say, and we have to see conditions. What conditions are given? So nums dot length is greater than or equal to 1, and index dot length is less than or equal to 100. Okay, these two are separately given. Okay, you have to note that thing. Uh, these condition in this condition are separate. Like nums dot length is greater or equal to 1, and index dot length is less than or equal to 100. Okay, but you have to take one thing, because these two are equal, like nums and index arrays equal, because yeah, else you don't have like conditions to push in new target array, because you have now integer value of nums, but you don't have indexes, so you can't push those value in our index. And you have indexes but don't have numbers, so in this condition also that's not possible. And here also again nums dot length is equal to index dot length. Nums of I is value of nums in array storage is greater or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 100, between 0 to 100 range. And yeah, for index dot I, it's basically what depends upon 0 to the i's max value. Okay, range between the maximum array storage like maximum element stored in index. So I hope you can clear each and every part of the question. So now we move to the code part. Okay, so we move to the code part of our question. I'll set my screen to the left. Okay, so yeah, here in question you can see that we have to initialize the target array is empty. So from the question we can start initializing in target array, empty target array. So let target is equal to empty array. So now we have to comparison between an array. So we have to take one for loop to iterating each and every index. So let I is equal to 0. Okay, nums dot length, like okay, I forgot to add I is less than nums dot length. Okay, then we have to each and every time use I plus plus for iterating. Okay, so now we have one for loop, okay, which moves from 0 index to the nums dot length index. So here one more twist is, now you have to take like checking and adding the values to the our target array in the according to the index array's value. So we learned many inbuilt functions. Okay, So if you know which inbuilt function we are gonna use, okay, so you can stop the video and okay tell me in comment, okay, before watching, like I'll write code before that, okay. So I hope you know which inbuilt function we're gonna use. So we're gonna use splice, okay. Basically splice is used to cut the array, okay. Target dot splice, okay. So now we have a target array splice, okay, but for index of I, okay, from where to we cut? Index of i's value we cut, okay, okay, insert 0, okay, from like for that part to 0 index we add nums of I. So what we gonna do here? Target dot slice, okay, for target dot slice we is splitting our array to index with okay, so splitting from index dot i's value, whatever the value of becomes index dot I, will splitting from there at zeroth index we add nums of I, okay. So here you can see like one come, okay, so it will split the target with the one index, okay, and at zeroth index the value of nums of I is basically one, okay, this one. So you can see this approach. Now we have one array which contains our new array, target array. So simply we return it, okay, and we'll compile this. So you can see that our test cases are accepted. Three test cases of example are accepted. Now I'll run to the for the lead code test cases to check it like betterly each and every. You can see that 0 ms run time and all 45 out of 45 test cases are accepted. So I hope you can clear the code and approach of code. So now I'll discuss about time and space complexity of this code. First, we have discussed space complexity. So in this code, the space complexity becomes order of n. Or due to we are using an entire new array and adding to the our whole array, like up to the whole array size. Like nums length is n, so we have to store whole nums array, okay, and nums array is equal to index array, so our space complexity becomes order of n, okay. And time complexity, our for loop contains order of n, but like in this case our splice becomes again order of n. So it's like because in worst of the worst case this we have to take to the our n index, okay, like n, so it's become order, like we'll discuss about time complexity. It's order of n of for the for loop, and inside for loop of target dot slice for calculating any time and space complexity we see it's worst and worst case, okay. So for worst and worst case this slice has to go to the like up to the n index, okay, order of n. If index of I is like in this array length is 4, or and here they given us 4, so we have to the move to the like a last index. So this slice has to go to the one by one each and every index iterate to the last, so this becomes order of n. And this also a for loop is order of n, and it's nested, so it becomes order of n square. So time complexity for this is order of n square, and space complexity is order of n, okay. I hope you got clear about this question. So you may try to optimize this question, okay. Like it contains some bigger things like list and link list and like that concept, okay. So for now we don't want to optimize this code, okay. we we remain this as same as for now, okay. And I hope you got clear about today's question and code and approach. Okay, now we move to the tomorrow's questions, like a little bit basic knowledge about the tomorrow's question is basically counts item matching a rule. It's basically 1773. I'll show the question. 1773. Okay. So count items matching a rule. Count with this question. Okay. So you have to try this question. Okay. And now we'll completed our array part. Okay. We move to the string. Okay, and then list. So uh, you have like enough knowledge about arrays and inbuilt functions. Now we move to the this part of the like where we gonna use list, linked list. Okay, then string. Okay, and like that similar concepts. Okay, we learn one by one, not all things at one time, but we starting this higher level things. So you can say you're given an array of items where each items I, okay, these are strings, type, color, name, describes type, color, name of the ith item. You are also given a rule represented by two strings, rule key and rule value. Okay, you are given two strings, rule key and rule value. The ith item said to match the rule one of the following is true. So the ith item said to match the rule if one of the following is true. Okay, it's basically the given two rules. One of them is to be follow, and if the follow, if true, the condition is true. So you can see this description for better understanding. And even if you try to read this example and explanation is also given there, so you can better understand this part. Okay, and you have to try this question. Okay, and I hope you can solve this question. And again, if you can solve this question, just post it on Twitter and LinkedIn and mention me. Okay, like day 14 question is solved. And so today's video is completed. And if you find any doubts, okay, just ask me in comments. And if you want today's solution in like C and C++ language, code is uploaded on GitHub. You can check out. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Okay, and if you have not started yet DSA with DAX series, okay, link in I button. You can start now. Okay, thanks for watching.